Hello and welcome to Learning English. Are you working on your English skills? Fantastic. Let's practice with a fascinating story. Remember to subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. Let's begin. 4 major countries have just made a significant announcement. These nations are the United States, Japan, India, and Australia. Together, they form a group known as the Quad. While this group has cooperated in the past, they now have an ambitious new plan. This plan centers on materials that are vital to our modern world. These materials are called critical minerals. Critical minerals are special because they are found in nearly all of today's technology. They are inside your smartphone, your computer, and your television. They are also crucial for future innovations like electric cars, solar panels, and wind turbines. As the world adopts more technology, the demand for critical minerals is increasing rapidly. Currently, one nation, China, holds substantial control over these critical minerals. China is a primary source for mining many of them, but its dominance is most powerful in the processing stage. This means that even if a mineral is mined in another location, it is frequently sent to China to be prepared for use. This position gives China considerable power in the global market. Other nations depend heavily on China for these resources. This reliance is a source of worry for many countries. If the supply were to be interrupted or reduced, it could create severe issues for companies and industries across the globe. The new initiative from the United States, Japan, India, and Australia aims to alter this dynamic. They intend to establish a new system for obtaining critical minerals, from mining them to preparing them for factories. Their plan involves investing capital, sharing technology, and collaborating closely. They seek to create their own secure and dependable supply chain for critical minerals. This action is viewed as a significant challenge to China's existing dominance and underscores a rising economic rivalry between nations. This is about more than just trade. It's about who manages the essential materials required for technology. An industry in the future? This chapter serves as an introduction to this important new development in the plan of these 4 nations. What exactly are critical minerals? Let's discuss some unique materials known as critical minerals. We refer to them as critical because they are essential for many things we use every day. They are like the new oil in our modern lives. We require them for new technologies too. Function. Consider the items around you, your mobile phone. Indeed, it contains numerous critical minerals. These minerals enable the screen to display vibrant colors and help the battery retain its charge for extended periods. And what about electric cars? They also demand a large quantity of critical minerals to operate. Without these materials, manufacturing these vehicles would be impossible. Many other electronics, such as computers and televisions, utilize them as well. What are some examples of these minerals? One is called lithium. Lithium is vital for producing the batteries that power our phones and electric vehicles. Another category is known as rare earth elements. This group includes 17 different types, which are used in screens, speakers, and motors. Cobalt is another critical mineral. It is heavily used in batteries, particularly the large ones for vehicles. Gallium is used to manufacture tiny components for computers and electronic devices called semiconductors. So, these minerals act as hidden helpers within our technology. They simplify our lives and enable innovations like clean energy and high-speed computers. They may be small, but their function is enormous. However, there is a significant issue that concerns many countries. The majority of these crucial minerals do not originate from a wide variety of countries. Often a single country controls a large portion of where the minerals are mined or, more importantly, where they are processed. Processing involves cleaning and preparing the raw minerals from the earth for factory use. If one country controls most of the supply or processing, it wields great power over other nations. If that country chooses to halt sales of these minerals or drastically increase their prices, other countries that depend on them face major problems. Factories producing phones, cars, computers could be forced to shut down. This can severely damage a country's economy and even impact its national security. This is why critical minerals have become such a major global topic. Many nations now recognize the need to source these minerals from multiple locations. They aim to establish their own methods for acquiring and utilizing these materials. They want to prevent any single country from having excessive power over these resources that the modern world relies on. It is about ensuring countries can securely build the technology they need for the future. Understanding these minerals helps explain why countries are collaborating on new strategies. They are more than just rocks. They are the keys to the future. China's significant control. China has achieved a very powerful position in the world of critical minerals. They have worked for many years to establish this control. China invested heavily in mines and factories, not only within its own borders, but also in other regions of the world. As a result of this long-term effort, China now processes the majority of the critical minerals the world requires. This means they convert the raw materials from the earth into forms that can be used to make products like phones or electric cars. For instance, China processes approximately 80% of the world's critical minerals. For certain highly important minerals, like rare earth elements, China's control is even greater, at about 90%. They also process a large share of the world's lithium and cobalt, which are essential for batteries. This extensive control gives China a great deal of influence. They have demonstrated this power before. One example occurred in 2010. At that time, China suspended its shipments of rare earth elements to Japan. This created major problems for Japanese companies that relied on these materials. More recently, China has used its influence again. In 2025, they imposed new restrictions on the export of certain rare earth elements. They also threatened to control minerals necessary for computer chips. These actions demonstrate that China can use its control over minerals to apply pressure on other countries or hinder their manufacturing capabilities. This situation poses risks for many nations worldwide. If China chooses to halt exports or inflate prices, it could harm industries and economies elsewhere. Countries that require these minerals for their technology or green energy initiatives become dependent on China. This is why having one nation control so much of these vital materials is a major concern for the rest of the world. A new team is formed. The story of the Quad Group began in an unusual way. It did not start as a military alliance or an economic bloc. In 2004, a catastrophic natural disaster occurred. A massive ocean wave, a tsunami, struck numerous countries. The United States, Japan, India, and Australia all provided aid. They collaborated to save lives and assist in rebuilding. This cooperation proved they could form a strong team when necessary. Over the following years, the Quad Group became more closely aligned. The four nations began to meet more frequently. They discussed peace and security in the region spanning the Pacific and Indian Oceans. They exchanged ideas and discovered ways to work together on various challenges. The Quad evolved into a robust and significant partnership. Then, on a particular day, a major development took place for this team. It was July 1st, 2025. The leaders from the United States, Japan, India, and Australia convened in Washington, D.C. It was a pivotal meeting attended by high-level officials, including the United States Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. At this gathering, they made a major announcement. They declared the launch of something new, the Quad Critical Minerals Initiative. This was a strategy for the four countries to collaborate on essential materials known as critical minerals. The leaders outlined the necessity of this plan. They stated a need to ensure their countries would always have access to these minerals. They aimed to jointly create new methods to discover, process, and utilize critical minerals. This plan represented a significant step for the Quad. It signified the moment the group officially became a team focused on critical economic challenges. It demonstrated to the world that the United States, Japan, India, and Australia were cooperating closely. This meeting in Washington, D.C. was the birth of a new team with a clear, ambitious goal: to secure their future supply of vital materials. The team's plan. The four countries, the team known as the Quad, devised a major plan. Their goal was to create a new method for obtaining essential materials. These materials are critical minerals, which are required for numerous modern products. The central concept was to construct a new supply chain. This chain would cover every step, from extracting the minerals from the ground to manufacturing the final products. It was crucial to do this to avoid over-reliance on a single country for these resources. Each nation was assigned a specific role in this plan. Australia was selected for its abundant mineral resources. Australia's task was to identify and mine these minerals from its land. Australia possesses key minerals like lithium and rare earth elements. Typically, Australia exports these raw minerals, often to China, for processing. But under this new plan, Australia would also begin to process some minerals domestically. Japan's role leveraged its strengths in technology and manufacturing. Japan excels at advanced processing, which involves using special technology to purify the minerals and prepare them for use. Japanese firms were already beginning to invest in facilities that process lithium and recycle rare earth materials. Japan's high-quality manufacturing capability was essential for the subsequent stages of the supply chain. India's role centered on its expanding manufacturing sector and large population. India has ambitious plans for industries like electric cars and clean energy, which require many critical minerals. India's job was to contribute to manufacturing, transforming the processed minerals into components and final products. India was also starting to invest in mineral exploration in other parts of the world, such as Africa and South America, to help build the team's global supply. The United States contributed funding and helped purchase the final products. The United States was set to provide significant financial support. This funding would aid the construction of new mines and processing plants. American companies were investing billions in locating and processing minerals domestically. The U.S. government, particularly the military, would be a major buyer of these materials. This guaranteed market gives businesses the confidence to invest. The United States also contributed new ideas and technologies for more efficient mineral discovery and use. So, the plan distributed the work according to each country's strengths. Australia would mine the raw materials. Japan would use technology to process them. India would use them to manufacture products. The United States would provide the capital and purchase the goods. In this way, they collectively created a complete system. This new system for critical minerals was designed to ensure the four countries and their allies have a robust and secure method for obtaining the DEEE materials needed for the future. Changes for everyone. This new plan by the four countries signifies major shifts in global trade. It is a strategy to create a new way of obtaining vital minerals. Previously, one country controlled the majority of these minerals, such as the materials for phones or electric cars. Now, the US, Japan, India, and Australia aim to establish their own supply chain. This diversifies the global trade in these minerals and makes it more secure for these nations. They want to reduce their heavy dependence on a single source. For consumers of technology, like mobile phones or electric cars, there could be some impacts. Establishing these new supply chains in different locations is expensive. This cost might cause the price of some electronic goods to rise temporarily. However, the countries hope this plan will lead to more stable prices and a more reliable supply in the long run. It's like paying a little more now for a more secure supply later. The plan also opens up new opportunities for many other nations worldwide. Countries that possess mineral resources, particularly in regions like Africa, Southeast Asia, and parts of South America, stand to benefit. The Quad nations intend to invest and partner in these areas. This translates to new jobs and economic growth for local populations. It provides these countries with more choices for selling their minerals and developing their own industries. For instance, nations like Indonesia, Malaysia, and some in Africa could become key partners in this new network. In the United States, the government has a policy focus known as America First. This idea is about ensuring the strength of American workers and businesses. The new minerals plan aligns well with this concept. It helps the United States secure important materials for its industries and military without relying on a single country. It also supports the development of new mining and processing facilities within the U.S. This generates jobs in states that have these natural resources or can host the necessary factories. The current U.S. leadership supports this plan as it strengthens the nation's economy and security. It shows that collaborating with other countries on shared challenges, like secure supply chains, can still support the America First objective. It's about creating secure networks for the future. In summary, this plan is reshaping the world of mineral trade. It affects prices for certain consumer goods, creates new opportunities for many countries, and is a key element of the U.S. government's strategy for a strong and secure economy. This is a significant change for everyone in the global economy. Major challenges for the team. The new plan by the 4 countries was ambitious, but it also faced significant problems. Building a new system for critical minerals was not going to be simple. The team had many challenges ahead. A primary challenge was China. China has maintained a very firm grip on critical minerals for a long time. They already have numerous mines and factories in operation. Constructing new ones to compete would be extremely difficult. China's existing system is efficient and often operates at a lower cost. The team would need a tremendous amount of effort and money to create something equally good or better. Another major hurdle was time. Building new mines and mineral processing facilities takes many years. It is not a quick process. It might take 5 years, perhaps 10 years, or even longer. The plan needed time to mature and become strong enough to fully support the countries. There were also environmental concerns. Extracting minerals from the earth can damage the environment. It can contaminate water or alter the landscape. The team had to find ways to conduct this work without causing excessive harm to the planet. This would require careful planning and innovative methods. Some people disagreed with the plan entirely. They argued it was too confrontational towards China. They feared it might escalate tensions between countries. Others were worried about the expense. Constructing all these new facilities would require a vast amount of money. They questioned whether the cost was justified. Some environmental groups stated the plan should focus more on recycling minerals from old products, like phones. They advocated for more recycling instead of solely digging for new minerals. They believed this was a better approach to protect the planet. Consequently, the team had many difficult questions to address and numerous problems to solve. Forging a new future for critical minerals was a very challenging undertaking. The future of the plan. This initiative by the 4 countries, the United States, Japan, India, and Australia, is a very significant step. It represents a major shift in how democratic nations collaborate for economic security. The plan is a direct response to the control one country holds over critical minerals. The future of the plan has distinct objectives. By the year 2027, the 4 nations aim to have new mineral processing facilities operational in their own countries. This is a substantial undertaking. Another target is set for the year 2030. They intend to source about 50% of their required critical minerals from places other than the country that currently has the most control. This involves establishing new mines and factories, which takes many years. A central question for the future is this: can democracies truly cooperate over the long term on such a complex task? Creating new supply chains is difficult and very expensive. There will be obstacles and dissenters who do not agree with the plan. The success of this initiative will demonstrate whether free nations can safeguard their economic future by working as a team. In conclusion, this plan marks the beginning of a new era in global competition. It is centered on who will control the essential materials needed for everything from smartphones to clean energy in the coming years. The next few years will be crucial for the plan. The outcome will impact many countries and people. What do you predict will happen with this plan in the future? Hey there, one moment before you leave. If you learned something new today, please show your support by liking this video, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and subscribing to the channel. It takes just a second, and it truly helps us create even better English videos for you. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.